Hey, what's up, techies? Vicky from the Elementon back with another video, and this is the Vibe K4 Note. This is a mid-range smartphone from Lenovo with some extremely good specs on the sheet. So I've been using this phone for about a month now, and here's my review. So Lenovo had been coming out with some really good smartphones, and the K4 Note is their budget lineup. So right inside the box, there's nothing fancy. We have the phone, some paperwork, a USB cable, a power brick, and a clear silicone case. Lenovo also follows the latest trend of not including the earphones whatsoever. The first thing you would ever notice on getting this phone is the build quality. This phone has a highly rigid structure, though it's made up of plastic, and this is not a thin phone, measuring in about 9.2 millimeters thick. Over the front we have a 5.5-inch 1080p display with a 5 megapixel front-facing camera and the speakers about which I'll be talking in the later part of this video. There's nothing on the left side of the phone, and on the right side we have the volume rockers and the power button. Over the top there is a headphone jack, and at the bottom we have the micro USB port and the microphone. On the back we have a 13 megapixel primary camera with dual tone flash and a fingerprint sensor. The back is removable, inside which we can find the battery, 2 SIM card slots and a micro SD slot. The specs for the K4 Note is highly impressive with 1.3 gig octa-core processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage, which is expandable up to 256 gigabytes using a micro SD card and a large 3300 mAh battery. The entire package ships for about 10,000 bucks, and I'll be having the Amazon links down below that like button in the description, so be sure to check that as well. There are quite a number of phones available under the same price category. We have the Moto G4, the Li 1S and the Xiaomi Redmi 3S. I've actually made reviews about these phones whose links will be down in the description. The screen is one great plus point for buying this phone. It has a high color accuracy, though it does not have an AMOLED display. As you can see, the colors tend to pop out a little bit, probably due to the high contrast ratio. Onto the software, there are definitely a large number of bloatwares available, which you can however uninstall if you don't want. I am actually running the Google launcher, but you also have some Lenovo specific launchers in the Theme Center. This phone still runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop, and I would not recommend you to upgrade because that might actually affect the performance of this device. But with 1 month of use, I've not had any lagging issues as far as you are not doing some heavy tasks such as high intense gaming. The notification tab at the top is highly congested with large number of unwanted icons, but you can however customize them to your liking. Now let's move on to the camera. Although the image quality has nothing to do with the megapixels, there are some crispy snaps from this 13 megapixel shooter. The images are so saturated, and I would actually recommend you to turn on the HDR while taking pictures. Although the processing speed is a little bit slower, the processed image is highly impressive. And yes, like any other budget smartphone, this Lenovo K4 Note struggles at autofocus. While taking video, you have to manually tap on the screen to focus the object. Next up is the battery life on this phone. Although 3300 does not seem to be a big number, if you are using this phone just to make calls and receive emails, this might take you through a day and a half. But if you are more into media consumption, then you might want to search for a power outlet at the end of the day. But this device do support quick charge. Now let's talk about the security in this phone. The fingerprint sensor is quick, it's snappy, and it unlocks the phone in less than a second. At the beginning, I had some issues with registering my fingerprint, but now they are quick with good haptic feedback. One thing I like about this phone is its attention to details. Lenovo had made use of their hardware highly effective. For instance, you have the fingerprint sensor. It does not only unlock your phone, but when swiped down would act as a back button. Long press would bring the recent task, and turning up the phone would actually lock the screen. You also have the option to double press the volume button to take a picture when the phone is locked. There is also one thing I dislike about this phone. You see this chin down at the bottom here? Yeah, it's small, highly appreciated. But then the buttons are not backlit. So when using this phone at night, you might have some accidental touches on the speaker instead of home button. So overall, this is one good smartphone with a brilliant display, good battery, a nice build quality, even though it's plastic, and a fantastic audio. Wait, did I mention about the audio? The speakers are front facing, so there's no possibility of closing them accidentally while listening to music or watching videos. And Lenovo claims these speakers to be Dolby Atmos. Now, for those who doesn't know what a Dolby Atmos is, here's a small explanation. In the early days, audio systems were monoscopic, meaning they had only one speaker and the sound was nearly flat. Then we had the stereo systems with channels left and right to get you more of a widespread sound. Then we had the surround sound with 5 and 7 speakers to give you an immersive experience. Dolby Atmos is a new technology to give you more of a three-dimensional sound with overhead speakers. Obviously, this phone does not have overhead speakers, but hey, Lenovo has somehow made it possible to sound like the Atmos. Here, let me give you a quick peek into the sound quality of this phone. Now, since you are watching this on YouTube, you might not be able to get the exact Atmos effect. But trust me, these are the best sounding speakers I've ever seen in a smartphone. Let's have a look. So there you have it. So that's basically it, my review of the Lenovo K4 Note. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if there are any doubts regarding this phone, then drop them on the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to know more about tech, and I'll see you soon.